Moms, what's the funniest thing you've ever gotten blamed for? When my son was about 7, he went through a phase where he was completely obsessed with money. Not in a greedy way, he was just fascinated by it. He'd wash neighbors' cars, rake leaves, set up lemonade stands with handmade signs, and proudly count his change at the end of each day like a tiny accountant. He kept all of his hard-earned cash in this little blue safe his grandpa had given him for his birthday. It had a plastic combination dial and a clunky latch that barely worked, but to him, it might as well have been a bank vault. He guarded that safe like it held national secrets. One afternoon, I was folding laundry when I heard the unmistakable sound of stomping upstairs. Doors were slamming, drawers opening and closing in rapid succession. Then came a yell, "Mom!" I turned around just as he came barreling down the stairs, red-faced and crying, clutching the now wide-open, very empty blue safe. "It's gone!" he shouted. "All my money! It's gone!" I blinked. "What money?" "The $40. The money I was saving for the new game. You took it." It hit me like a slap. "Excuse me? You always say video games rot my brain. You probably took it so I couldn't buy it." I was too stunned to respond right away. I told him calmly, maybe a bit too calmly, that I would never take his money, but he wasn't having it. To him, the case was closed. I was the prime suspect, judge, and jury. Within the hour, he had drawn up a full "wanted" poster. My face, terribly sketched, under the word thief in big red letters. He taped it dead center on the fridge just above the ice dispenser. My husband walked in, saw it, and burst out laughing. "Babe," he said, "I didn't realize I married a known criminal." That didn't help. For the next several days, my son gave me the cold shoulder. He'd narrow his eyes when I walked into a room, cross his arms dramatically during dinner. And my favorite, he'd loudly count the few coins he had left, muttering things like, "Gotta keep this safe from Mom," while side-eyeing me like I was plotting a heist. I played along. I told him I'd turn myself in to the authorities if they offered a decent reward. He wasn't amused. Then, about a week later, I was doing a deep clean of his room and came across his jacket crumpled in the back of the closet. When I picked it up, it felt unusually heavy. I reached into the pocket and pulled out a wad of crumpled bills. $40. Exactly. I stood there in disbelief, holding the cash like a lost artifact. I walked downstairs and found him playing on the floor with his Legos. "Hey," I said, "look what I found." When he saw the money, his eyes went wide. He didn't say anything at first. He just stared at it, processing. Then he burst into tears. "I'm sorry, Mom," he sobbed, running into my arms. "I put it in my jacket to keep it safe and I forgot." He was genuinely devastated. I hugged him and told him it was okay, that everyone forgets things sometimes. He wiped his nose on my shirt and asked if I was mad. I told him I'd consider taking down the wanted poster. We didn't. It stayed on the fridge for years. Even after it started curling at the corners and fading, we kept it up as a family joke. Friends and relatives would see it and laugh. "What did you do this time?" someone would ask, and I'd just point at the poster. Now he's 17, taller than me, and no longer stashes cash in jacket pockets, but every once in a while when something goes missing in the house, a remote, his charger, the last cookie, he'll squint at me and say, "I've got my eye on you, Mom," and every time I just smile.